Okay, in the previous episode, we talked about adding console functionality. Now, if I click play now, that is already implemented into our e- the walking is and jumping and everything is already implemented into the template by default. So we're not going to touch that too much. What we do need, however, is a way to toggle between drag and drop and console functionality because this system will not have both drag and drop and console functionality at the same time because I don't want people to have to uh, drag an item around while also holding down the A button or whatever. So it's going to be a point and click to pick up and move around. So that is what we're going to start with today. The very first thing I'm going to do in my content drawer, I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call this one interface. And this one, I'm going to make a blue-ish color. And this has nothing to do with the system like itself. This is just what your game would already have, probably. Inside of this one, I'm going to make a new widget blueprint. This one is going to be my WBP escape menu. Open that up. My escape menu will contain not a canvas. What am I talking about? My escape menu will contain a widget switcher. And I'm going to do a decide on screen. I'm going to add a vertical box into the widget switcher. Inside of this vertical box, I'm going to add a button. Inside there, yeah. And then a text. This button is going to be my resume button. The text is going to be my resume text. I am going to add it to and all. Then I'm going to change the text to resume. Font, I'm going to leave it regular. And I'm going to outline it just because I like that. That's our resume button. I'm going to hold down, select the resume button, hold down Control and press D to duplicate that. I'm going to do that twice. Now the first button, I'm going to pad that like 20 to the top. And I'll leave that as I'm going to pad the other one as well. But this one is going to be our settings button. And you guessed it, that means this is our settings text. The quit. So this one we did a 20 on. That might be too big, so we're gonna, but we are gonna do 40 on the next one. So we got our resume up top, settings, and then a quit button. And a quit text with the text of quit. So the button, this one I'm also gonna center so that we get the button down in size. I'm gonna rename this vertical box to be index 0. Then I'm going to add a size box to my widget switcher. I'm going to rename that to be index 1. I'm going to override this to be 500 by 500. Inside of this, I'm going to add a canvas. On top of this canvas, I'm going to add a border. And then another border. And I'm just going to scale these borders to be 500 by 500. Palette to be 2 in all. Same with the second border. It's fine. And 2 in all on the second border. The first border, I'm going to select a different brush color. Oh, the first border, I said. There we go. Not the content, the brush. Set that down since we have a little outline. Then I'm going to add a vertical box into my canvas panel, not into the borders. This one, I'm going to size the content. I'm going to dock it in the middle top. I'm going to add a text to that vertical box. This text is just going to say settings. I'm going to outline that as well. 2, 1, you know. And that's fine by me. Actually, regular, maybe that looks a little bit better. Yeah. Settings. Then inside that vertical box, I'm going to add a checkbox. This checkbox I'm just going to keep as is, and then I'm going to add a text to that checkbox. This text I'm going to do 14 in size. I'm going to do regular. I'm going to outline it so we can see what we're doing. And this is going to be, I'm not going to variable this, sorry. This is going to be my drag drop text. drag and drop question mark on the text. Checkbox is going to be our drag drop checkbox. We're going to select on check state. Now in here, we should have a HUD ref. Set that up. Like so. Let's also go into our HUD and do this. So get our escape menu. Put that inside of our canvas. Size that to content. Put that in the middle. This is going to be hidden by default. On our event graph, now we can get our escape menu. Set the HUD ref to follow the chain of HUD refs that we have there. Back in our escape menu now, we can use our HUD ref to get our game instance and then set drag drop to be the check mark. Then we're going to do a branch out of this boolean. So from Flaticon, I downloaded another. How can I? Why is that not working? I downloaded another icon. So this is my hand icon. Can't really see it. There it is. So that was from Flaticon. Yeah, I said that. Okay. Now let's go into our interface, into our HUD, and inside of the HUD, we're going to do the designer. Going to hand icon. We need an image inside of our canvas. I'm going to call this one my hand icon image. I do the texture of hand that I have. I'm going to size that to content, and that is way too big, so I'm going to change the size that to 64 by 64 maybe. Actually, that might still be too big, so I'm going to 32 by 32. Now that looks, that's up there. It might be a little bit too small. 48 by 48. That's our hand icon. Now, our hand icon, I don't want it to be visible by default, so I'm going to put it to be hidden. Now, back on my escape menu, if drag drop is true, then I want to get hand icon from the HUD and set visibility to be hidden. However, if it's the other way around, so if the drag drop is false, we're on click on the click system. You can set visibility to be not hit testable self and only. Now let's go into our third person character. We should probably get this one down a little bit, but it's fine by me. Now here, we actually need to go into our project settings for a bit. Go into input, and I'm going to make a new action mapping. This action mapping is going to be called toggle escape menu. I will use the escape key, and then I will use the how do you open it? It's game face up, right? Y button on the Xbox controller. Yeah, I think that's correct. That's how I'm going to toggle it. Now let's go back into our third person character. Let's call our toggle escape menu. Now let's get our HUD ref, get our escape menu, and I'm gonna switch, get visibility, sorry, and I'm gonna switch on the eSlate visibility. If it is visible, let me just move this up a bit. Could actually also, yeah, let's do that instead. Copy this. Functions, create a new one. Toggle escape menu. Paste it in. Get our escape menu. Set visibility to be hidden if it is visible. Get player controller. Set input mode game only. And then set show mouse cursor to be false. If it is visible, no, if it is hidden, sorry. We want to change it to visible, We want to get the widget switcher. Was it 28? Yeah, it's 28. We get the widget switcher. I want to set active widget index to be 0 because we don't want it to. we want it to go back to the original. We want it to go back to here, to index 0, to this state, and not onto this state every time you open it up. Once that is done, we can get our player controller, set input mode, game and UI. I'm not going to hide capture. Set show mouse cursor to be true, and that's it for our toggle escape. I can go in there and toggle escape. That's my controller. This is my keyboard. Can't actually do anything. We need to set focus on the correct widget. So on our toggle escape menu, you have the in widget to focus here. Now most people, or most of the times we don't have to worry about it, but now we're going to use controller. So I'm going to do the escape menu. I'm going to get the button, and I'm going to get the resume button. That is what I want to focus. So now that if I click play and I go in, now my resume button is the first one to start, and I can start actually going around clicking things, right? Let's see how that looks one more time in big. It's not Y actually. It's project settings, input. It's not Y. It's the special right. So now that one should be focused at the start. Over on edit project settings, another thing we have to change is go in here and search for focus, and then the render focus. I'm going to do that for always. That means that when I go and click my start button, it's always gonna show the one that we are setting to focus. Right, now let's add some functionality to our button. So in our escape menu, our resume button, it's gonna be on the clicked event. We can just get our HUD ref and we can toggle, get the, what's it called? Get player ref. And we can toggle escape menu. Because that should, yeah, bring us back to the default state. If it is our quit button, let's set that up as well. We're just gonna quit game. Simple enough. And if it's our settings button, we're going to get our widget switcher, set active index to be 1. File, save, play, start, go to settings. That's going to do that. I also want to, because you saw that we had a focus issue there as well. So when we click our settings button, I also want to get the checkbox, drag-drop checkbox, and then set the focus of that. And let's also add a back button maybe to our index one. We have a vertical box. We could just add a button. Actually, we could duplicate this resume button. Move that down to our canvas panel. Size that to content. Move it down. I'm just gonna do it like this. -16. And this is now gonna be our back button. Back button 1. I'm not gonna make it too complex. Back button 1 text. Back. And if we click that, we just want to set user widget index to be 0. What you could also do is have set up a way to, not an input, a way to track which index you're on, and then do it like that. I'm just going to hard code it in so that it's not flexible at all. And this time we don't want a checkbox to be focused though. We want maybe the resume button to be focused, so you can go instantly back, click start, go back to settings. Doesn't actually show up. It's probably the bug, the horrible bug that we don't like at all, where you have to add it back. Yeah, there we go. Now we got our back button, and we can check our drag and drop, and that is also gonna where is it? It's gonna set the drag and drop for the game instance as well. Over on my HUD, let me just hit play again and see. Okay, over on my HUD, On my update pickup widget and location, I want to have a different one here. So if our we got our game instance there, get drag drop. If drag drop is true, then we want to move our pickup widget to that location. However, if drag drop is false, we gotta get our pickup widget and get this entire thing, plug that in. But this time, we want to get our hand position. Don't I have my hand icon here? Hand icon, yeah. Slot as canvas. Get position. And then plug that into there. So that's gonna... But we also need a way to set where the hand icon should be. So let's work on that. Let's go into our inventory slot. WBP inventory slot. Over on graph. Over on event graph. In here, we're going to use the tick event. So event tick. And we are going to check if slot button is hovered or Boolean if the slot button has any user focus. If this is true, we're going into our HUD and we're going to make it a variable. We're going to call this one focused slot. Go WBP inventory slot. Yeah. Back in our slot again. Now we can get our HUD ref. We can set focused slot to be that of self. Then we can get ourselves. We can get the cache geometry. We can do a local to viewport. And the pixel position is the one that we are going to set as the focus slot location. So let's actually make that in here as well. So the focused slot location will be a vector 2D. Like so. Back in our inventory slot. Now we can set focused slot location to be that of the pixel position. That is always gonna update. Now over on our HUD, we have our update pickup where we're gonna set the pickup location, the pickup widget location. Let's make a new function here. We're gonna call this one update mouse location drag drop disabled. I'm gonna get my game instance ref. I'm gonna get drag drop. I'm gonna make sure that it's not valid, so not Boolean. We're not in drag drop. And Boolean, that the focus slot is valid. If this is true, we have a focus slot and we're not in drag drop. Should I just get the cache geometry here instead? Yeah, I might. This one should be fine though. Yeah, this one should be fine, but we might need to get it here instead. So get our hand icon image, slot as canvas, set position. So if this is true, set position. And we want to set that to our focus slot. This one should be fine. This one should be fine. I'm not gonna get the new geometry here. Go into the graph, update, and just this isn't gonna do anything yet because we need to actually see it. I'm gonna disable this for now. Okay, so now it's looking for it. It's not finding the correct one. Let's see if I can. I haven't actually set the correct here. So back in our third person character, when we toggle our inventory, we're gonna make a new function here because this is just gonna be a lot easier for us. It's gonna be get first focus widget, and it's gonna output one WBP inventory slot. focus slot ref. We're going to get all widgets of class. Widget is our inventory slot. Top level only has to be off. We're going to get the first one available, and that's going to be into there. This can be a pure function. I'm going to toggle again. So when we're going visible, wait, this is toggle escape. Fuck. Toggle inventory. There we go. So when did I do anything here? No, I didn't. When it's hidden and we want to go visible, the widget to focus, let's move this out just a tiny bit, is going to be the get first focus widget, get the slot button, and then that is going to be our widget to focus. Now this should theoretically be fine, assuming I can actually on our project settings. I think I'm getting ahead of myself just a little bit too much. On our input, I'm going to make a new action mapping. This is going to be my toggle inventory. I'm going to do B, and then I'm going to do the Y. I can go back to my third person character, event graph. This is my B, this is my toggle inventory. Now I can just toggle inventory, the action event, like so. I'll click play, press Y. It is setting the correct widget. However, it's not correctly placed inside of the room. So on our, this is what I think though, because I think maybe we need to get this information elsewhere. I think we need to get it inside of the HUD. So the thing I was talking about here, let us remove this location and see if we can get the cache geometry here. And then also it's not the pixel position I just remembered, it's the fucking viewport. So local to viewport, and then it's a viewport position. Right, compile and save. Now you can see that it's following my mouse. So that's good. When I click remove my mouse, now I can start moving with my controller. Right? That's working. Over on my third person character, I'm also going to, now over my HUD, my designer, I'm going to hide this again. Hidden. On my third person character, on my toggle inventory, I'm going to, after everything here is done, I'm going to get my HUD ref, get game instance ref, get drag/drop. Not at the end, sorry. At the end here. If drag/drop is equal to false, get the hand icon image, set visibility to be not testable self only, then proceed. However, if it's true, then we just want to proceed. On this this other one up here, we can just get hand icon image, not from the game instance, get hand icon image. We can set visibility, and we can just always we don't have to do a branch here. We can just always set it to be hidden, because if it is there, we want it to be gone. Positive play. Now it's there. When I go to settings, if I enable drag/drop, it's no longer there. We still have the focus. However, now our mouse is the one in charge, basically. Yeah, we got a bug there. That is my bad. Support for texture. That is because on our drag, I think I fucked this up the last time. On our drag, on preview mouse button down. So here I moved my checks into here, the slot validity checks. While really, we really shouldn't go to that place if it's not valid anyway. So I'm just doing slot validity. No, I'm not. We do need to actually go in there. So it's here. We can add a slot validity. If valid is okay. If not, return handled. I should take care of that. Yeah. Okay, in the next episode, this one took a bit longer than expected. In the next episode, we are going to be finishing up the functionality of our controller so that you can use it to pick up stuff, split stacks, and all of that good stuff. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.